In the previous two videos, we looked at when we have one term equal to 0, then we can say either the first or the second or the third or the how many ever terms, not terms, products, is equal to 0. Okay? Now, that is what we're going to, now that is going to be the aim for any quadratic or higher power equation. We want everything to be one term on one side of the equation equal to 0. Okay? Note quadratic and higher, not linear. Linear equations we solve with x as one side, numbers other sides, and you do your stuffies from there. Okay, as soon as the degree becomes 2 or higher, we take everything to one side and then we do this thing that everyone loves so much, factorization. Okay, so if we look at this first example, you'll see we have two terms, one on each side. Okay, this is not one term equal to 0, so we can't use the zero product law yet. But we can make it that way. Okay, that's kind of the goal. So we're going to take everything to the same side. So let's move this 4x, we move it that way. Of course, when you move a whole term, you do the opposite sign that's in front of it. So this is a plus. So we must minus 4x to get to the other side. Then you'll notice now that we have our two terms on one side, we already have the equal to 0 part. That's one part of what we want. We have the equal to 0 part. We now need products. Okay? And you do that whenever you have two terms, or three terms, or four terms, or how many ever terms you're working with. If you want to factorize, you first look for highest common factor. Okay? And in this case, you see, okay, each of these have at least one x. Okay, this one has two x's, so x times x, and this is one x, just an x. So we take x out as a common factor. Then we had two x's, we took one out, so we have x left in this first term. In the second term, we took this x out, so we only have minus 4 left. Do we now see? We have our equal to 0 and we have products, and it's fully factorized. That's very important. So then we just go say either our first product is 0 or our second product is 0. This one is already solved, okay? This one we just need to have a minus 4 get to the other side by adding 4. So our answers are x is 0 or x is 4. In the second example, again, we have a term on one side, a term on the other side. We want this term to join the other term on the other side. It doesn't really matter which one you move, but usually we move the terms that have smaller exponents so that our term that has the biggest exponent can be positive. Okay, that's just kind of a form, but it doesn't really matter. You should get the same answers either way. Okay, so we move this positive 27x to the other side by subtracting 27x. Okay, then in our two terms, we have the equal to 0 part. Lovely. We don't have the product part yet for this question. Now we see between our two terms, yes, they do have common factors. Actually, they have two different ones. 3 can go into each of our coefficients. And then this one has 3 x's and this is 1 x. So they have 1 in common. 3 divided by 3 is 1, so our coefficient will be 1 for the first term now. We had 3 x's, we took 1 away, so we have 2 left. Minus 27 divided by 3 is 9, and we took the 1x out, so that now we have x squared minus 9. Very important, this is not factorized, and your clue kind of for that is our exponent isn't 1, but it's not always a done deal like that. So now you need to go look, okay, this is actually x squared minus. Can we write this as a square? And then you'll see, yes, you can. It's 3 squared. Now we have a difference of 2 squares. And we know that will factorize into two different brackets. Okay, I'm just going to quickly rewrite the 3x. So this bracket will split into 2. What is being squared goes in the front. So x and x. What is being squared goes in the back. 3 and 3. And then we have a plus and a minus, or minus and a plus. It doesn't matter. Please just notice how I continue writing equal to 0 all the time, all the way through. You can't just stop writing it, please. You will lose marks. Okay, then we have our products. We have 3x. We have x plus 3, and we have x minus 3, and they're all products equal to 0. One term, remember? So we have the second part sorted. We can use our zero product law. So then 3x is 0. Okay, or you could have straight gone to x is 0. Or x plus 3 is 0. Or x minus 3 is 0. Okay, we get the plus 3 over by subtracting 3. So we have x is negative 3. And in this one, we have x is equal to positive 3. Okay, do you see here? Our power was 3, so we got 3 answers. Okay, also remember to always keep in mind the power is an indication, the highest power is an indication of what the amount of solutions is that we should have. But we do get those special cases where some of our solutions are the same, so we actually have less distinct solutions.